I know we're early as hell, ladies and gentlemen, but we're on time as fuck, all right? I'm here, no complaining. Welcome to Keyboard Warriors. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Keyboard Warriors. I made it lost, Fred Kirby, shooting the shit with you guys on a Friday night, afternoon-ish. On today's episode, top 5 lists, UFC 281, shit's getting crazy and real. But first, Cain Velasquez out on bail. Real quick reaction from you, because my reaction was, hell yeah, free Cain. But then I saw a lot of pushback online, which is kind of weird for me. But what'd you think of it?
You saw pushback online to that?
I saw people going like, "We're really gonna let a criminal out? He shot somebody," and I'm like, "Bitch, why?" Like,
Oh wow, I didn't.
yeah.
Thank God. I'm glad my old Twitter got took sometimes or hacked. Whoever you are, you Russian cocksucker, fucking congratulations. You saved me a lot of turmoil. I only got like 100 followers now, so I just missed a lot of this silly shit, which I'm glad for. I suppose you could have that point of view, but I feel like by now we all know what happened with that case,
Yeah.
and like. Yeah, whereas it might not been the right thing to lawfully do. I think any sort of fucking father or husband or big brother or fucking real man
Yeah.
sympathizes with Cain and understands exactly why he did what he did and looks at this not even just like an MMA fan, but just like again, like a dad. This was a win for all of us. I mean, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
again, like, yeah, I get it. He broke the law. But when you know the details of the case and what exactly happened, at least to the best of our knowledge, even he was completely justified in doing what he did, and they need to let that man out of jail. He deserves to fucking be right where he's at home with his family, taking care of the kid that was actually fucking injured in this fucking case.
Yep.
Like, this was a good one, and you know, just to fucking get off that fucking pier for a little bit here, you're a fucking cunt. You are a true utter piece of shit human being if you're on Twitter going, he's a criminal, he deserves to be in jail. And if you've been under a rock and you don't know what's actually going on, then fair enough.
Right.
But like if you know the details of the situation and you still look at Cain as a criminal, you're a fucking twat. You're a fucking twat.
I had somebody tell me they were like, "Well, he's a criminal. I can't believe you're rooting on a criminal getting let out of jail like that." And I'm like, first of all, the other criminal did something arguably worse, and he got let out of jail. So that's one. Two, like motherfucker, like every parent, I can speak for myself as a father. Like, you don't think that'd be the first thought I would have? I would be like, I'm gonna go kill this motherfucker. I'm gonna go get him. Yeah, I mean,
Bro,
like everyone says that Cain did it, or at least he tried.
yeah, but dude, you know, we're it might not be a whole lot of people watching right now, but we're live on motherfucking YouTube. Let it be known. I have 2 daughters. Any of you cocksuckers ever put your hands on them, I will beat you to fucking death with a stick, a stone, or a goddamn it pistol. Let that be fucking known. Like, it is what it is. There are some things that should be held sacred on this fucking planet, and your children are one of them. If somebody hurts one of your babies, it is on you as a human being. We've been doing this shit since the dawn of time. Little dumbass, punk ass wolves and cats know to protect their fucking kids.
Hell yeah.
It is what it is. Maybe as they get older, that relinquishes just a little bit. But when they are babies, they are kids, your 2, 5, 8, 9, 10, 12-year-old kid. What the fuck are we talking about? Of course, he's
Bro.
lucky that Cain didn't kill his funny ass.
Bro, we went to a football game one time. I had I got 4 kids, but I had one of my kids with me, and she had a backpack with her. She's not supposed to bring that with her, but you know, fair enough. It's a high school football game, whatever. But we're going, and I'm turning around. First of all, I was already irritated with her for bringing the damn thing, and I told her not to. I'm like, I can just do it. And I was just annoyed. Long ass day. I was tired as fuck. I didn't feel great. But I turn around and I see some security guard reaching to grab her. Oh, you have no idea how quick my eyes just went red, and I got right in the face. I'm like, what the fuck you want? Well, you can bring that backpack. I'm okay. You can tell me.
Right,
You
right,
can
right,
tell
right.
me.
You don't need to be grabbing her for any.
No grabbing her, no talking to her. You talk to me, motherfucker. So that shit lights me up. So yeah, like I'm glad he's home.
That's a small instance of
Super
just a person sort of putting their hand where it don't go, let alone somebody actually hurting that little girl. Like if you cross that line, you're gonna get it. And that's just the way it should go for anybody. Cain's just, to your point, a lot of people shoot their mouth off.
Yeah.
I for one think he's a goddamn hero. I think he's a goddamn hero. That's what any real father should do. And thank God they let him out, man. They should. Again, this is one of these things that I almost feel like is a problem with society. This is where laws get in the way. We all know what happened, man. Let that man go. Go find that cocksucker that did that fucking horrible thing and put that funny cocksucker in jail. or at least fucking like let's try to prove whether he actually fucking did it or not. And if we
Right.
can prove that he did, put him in the fucking jail before we got to kill his funny ass. I mean, what are we doing here? Let's fucking get the actual criminal. Stop fucking playing.
100%. Now the crappy thing is that he's gonna go away. Like California don't play. Those charges are pretty shitty. It's gonna be a real hard battle. Like to he's not gonna get off scotch free. He's gonna have to do some time. But at the reason why one of the reasons why I'm happy he's out is now he's gonna have months. It's not gonna be because the trials always take forever. It's gonna be months. He has time to get his affairs in order, make sure everyone's taken care of. Spend time with his kids and everything, explain to him what's happening and everything as best as he can, even though the little one's really young, and hopefully get everything ready to go. So it's not like all like that bad when he gets gets put in, but it does like he's gonna be away.
We talk about Kane here, right?
Yeah, King.
Okay, and look, but here's the reality, bro. Here's the fucking real truth about this fucking fucking penal system we have here. Money talks and bullshit walks. And Kane might be a little old, and I ain't saying that fucking Uncle Dana's going to give him a big break. Let me tell you something, son. It's a bunch of fucking shit rats out there throwing a bunch of money around. If I'm Kane, I'm like, yo, what's up, bare knuckle boxing? What's up with it? Who trying to give Kane fucking 250 grand? I'll come fight anybody you want to fight. What's up, Ben Rothwell? You trying to get some work? And I mean, y'all burning money anyways. And just the story alone, Kane coming back to make a little bread. I haven't even thought about paying for bare knuckle. I wouldn't give bare knuckle boxing $6 fucking hard-earned my dollars. I'll tell you right now, live on YouTube, if I watch their shit, it's getting streamed with a capital S, Jack. I wouldn't a bit more pay them than the man. Let me tell you something. If they fucking brought back Kane, put him in the main event, did a big fight, and sort of did a charity thing, bro, I'd pay them $20 or $30 all day long. Just cause. Just I mean, I would actually like to watch Kane and Ben Rothwell fight.
That'd be nuts.
Actually, I ain't mad at that, to be fair. But like, just to support Kane, I would actually pay that company. And so I'm just making a quick point that as long as Kane is still able to work and stuff, I know he's a little old. I know he hasn't fought in a long time. He still has a massive name in this community. Listen, if Anderson Silva and you know, Ben Askren and all these cats, and I'm not saying he should box Jake Paul, although I also don't hate that idea either. But there's ways for him to go out and make a little quick bread, and let us support him in doing something that he knows how to do that we all ain't mad at and shit to maybe make enough money to where he ain't gone for very long. Look, he ain't killed a motherfucker. It's attempted murder at best. And the sympathy card should at least count for something. And whatever that don't count for, a big pile of fucking money should.
Yeah, no, we need to move on to 281. But the one thing that I will say is and shout out to Nolan King, MMA junkie, good guy. I've met him a handful of times. Fucking dope ass dude, and he's really good at what he does. He actually chronicled the entire thing from the other day. It was a 2-day pre-trial hearing, and the judge did. Okay, just real quick. The defense asked on day 2, asked for bail was the second thing they asked for. The first thing they asked for was to drop the attempted murder charge with a deadly weapon. Right. That's a big charge. That's like a long time. I can't remember exactly the number, but the judge denied dropping the charge, but he did say that there is a like you can at least attempt to prove a crime of passion, which would take actually premeditated attempted murder. If you get rid of that premeditated, it takes years off. It's not gonna take everything off, but either way, attorneys are gonna play their word wizardry and everything and see if they can make it happen. But we'll see, man. But the other motherfucker definitely needs to be in prison. What the fuck? All right. Otis says, glad Kane is free. I'm with you. Toast says, anyone arguing about Kane being free is a Chomo supporter.
I mean, just facts, man, or just a fucking cunt, man. I mean, just real talk. Like, come on. Well, what's your point with that? How are you making that argument?
Yeah. Kairos here. Yeah, he brings it up. I get it, but now Kane's kids won't see him for decades after this. His charges are bad. You're 100% right on that, Kairos.
Okay, so I don't know what every state is different. But I'm in Ohio. Kairos, if I'm not mistaken, you're in Detroit. Midwest, if he didn't fucking die, it's just attempted murder with a deadly weapon. Now, I don't want to say just, but again, if you've got $1 million or so, like, I don't think, I'll put it to you like this. I highly doubt Kane gets more than 10 years for sure.
Yeah.
I'm thinking if he spends the bread, if he spends the money, he could be home in 5 to 7, maybe. Like, he didn't die. He didn't actually kill dude. Did he even shoot him?
He didn't get the right guy. He killed his. He killed. He shot. Sorry, not killed. He shot his. I think his stepfather.
Right, right. But that dude's all right. He didn't die or nothing, right?
Yeah, he didn't die.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't think for decades. I don't think for decades.
No.
He might
I,
do a hot 7. It's gonna cost him a fuckload of money. Again, this is
mhm.
this is assuming that Kane's got a little cash. Because again, money talks and bullshit walks, bro. Kane walks in there with 2-3 million. He might only do about 3-4 years. Good
Yeah,
time.
like, and and I would hope. I hope that's true. But Kowers is right. California. Yeah, yeah. See,
Mm.
he goes. I'm looking at California charges. But I'm in Michigan.
Okay, so right,
Oh,
right.
25 to life on one charge one alone. That's the attempted murder. It's a premeditated attempted murder with a deadly weapon. I know it's a
Okay.
long ass charge, but that's the reason why it's 25 to
Fair
life.
enough. I'm not a fucking lawyer. I
Yeah,
feel like people have gotten away with shit like this. Not gotten away with, not went away for a terrible amount of time. But I guess we'll have to see. And
yeah.
again, money's only going to take him so far. But
Yeah, no, let's just hope for the best, man. Because I
right.
mean, damn. All right, moving on. UFC 281 tomorrow night, pay per view. It's honestly, after having watched all the media day stuff and read everything that I could about it, it's a pretty dope card. But we'll go through very very quickly. At least through the prelims very quickly, real fast here. All right, kicking off it's 3 p.m. Pacific time. Keep in mind these times are it shows it's 4 o'clock. It's Arizona time, MST. So it's 3 p.m. Pacific time. For it's 6 o'clock Eastern time. Carlos Olberg against Nikolai Negumereanu. Nikolai actually made weight, came in at 206. He was like 2 ounces over at the weigh-ins, but he got behind the curtain. He was good to go. Carlos Olberg, one of those Sid kickboxing guys, super exciting to watch, fun guy. This has to be the last time he ends up on the on the early prelim. There's no way you do this shit to this guy again. Julio Arce against Montel Jackson, bantamweight fight. These guys are going to be going hard and fast. And then featherweights, Mike Trizano taking on Choi Sung-woo. Trizano missed weight by like a pound and change, which is very unfortunate. And who knows what happened there. Karolina Kovacevic went from the main event, or at least co-main event, on an MSG card to the early prelims. So that fall from grace has been sad. Taking on Silvana Gomez Juarez. And then this is the fun one. Matt Steamroller Favola gets Otman Azaitar. I don't know if you remember in the early days of the of Fight Island, somebody's whole team got kicked out because they like snuck bags into the hotel. They
Yeah,
like shit.
yeah.
He's
The
the guy.
hotel.
It's his
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
His guys are talking about it. I forgot what he said. I completely can't remember exactly what he said, but he spoke about it on his media day. Go to KSI Press YouTube. Find the Zaitar media day, and he talks about it. So it's pretty interesting. All right. Prelims on ESPN Plus and ESPN News, I want to say. This is where it gets pretty good. Andy Petrosky just defeated Maximov not too long ago, which was actually kind of a surprise. But beat him in like a minute, choked him. Then against Wellington Turman, who's a bad motherfucker, who trains with Alex Pereira. Then Aaron Blanchard against Molly McCann. No Patty this time. He didn't want to travel to New York. He talked about taxes and all that. But Molly McCann says, fuck it, I'll do it. And that's a really good fight. It's a good flyweight fight. They climb up the ranks. Dominic Reyes taking on Ryan Spann. Reyes made weight. Ryan Spann did not. Missed it by 0.6 pounds, I believe. So that's unfortunate, but the fight itself is fucking great. Yeah. And then your feature prelim, Brad Riddell against Renato Moicano. If the Renato Moicano that fought RDA shows up, like we might be seeing two zombies fighting in the cage in the prelim. So it's gonna be dope. All right, first fight on the pay-per-view kicking off at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Dan Hooker against Claudio Puelles. This is a hell of a fucking fight to put on the first fight on the card. Like, this is a great fight to kick off the prelims, man. Both guys are heavy hitters. Both guys are high-level guys. I would lean Dan Hooker if he hadn't been doing this shit with the weight constantly. But I don't know. I think I'm going Claudio Puelles. Who are you picking?
Same, man. I just think that Dan Hooker's a little shop worn at this point. Like,
Yeah.
I know he's been like bouncing between weight divisions, but just in general, I feel like I seen somewhere that he said that he has taken his punishment in even distribution. So, like, some to the leg, some to the body, some to the head. Listen, Jack, as cute as that sounds, it still just seems like you got your ass whipped the whole bunch. Head, leg, body, and toes. So I just feel like he's a little shop worn. I feel like his time has passed him, and I feel like we're going to find that out tomorrow night.
He's about to make a name off Dan Hooker. He's about
to that's the vibe I'm getting. You never know, and that's why we love the sport. But it seems like those are the vibes, man.
Yeah, we'll say this: I will not be upset at all if Hooker pulls it off. He's one of my favorite guys to watch. He's always fun. Cairo says they want Favola dead. Maybe, but Steamroller never turns on a fight. That guy's always down to fight anybody.
Super tough guy. Super tough guy.
Right. Santiago was good, dude. Great card. Agreed. Is Reyes damaged goods? Ooh.
Yes.
I don't-
Yes.
ooh.
I'm sorry. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
I feel
Okay.
like, and again, I could be wrong about this. I feel like Dominic Reyes is the way more rounded fighter, but I again, I'm the worst at picking fights. I feel like he's gonna get sparked out.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about those John Jones fight where those guys all like
Yeah.
peaked there and looked good, and then they all just went.
Yep.
But I feel like that's exactly what we're going to see with Dominic Reyes here. I could be wrong, but I feel like he gets sparked out in the first round.
Reyes was undefeated when he fought John Jones, I believe. Yeah, he was undefeated when he fought John Jones, getting decision by John. And then after that, he got sparked by Jan Blachowicz. And then Yuri back, he got the spinning back elbow on him and put him out
Yep,
hard in
yep.
the main event of at the Apex, I believe. So,
And then Ryan Spann is coming off of
oh,
a
he got it.
win.
He's coming off a win, and I believe it was a good one. Let me see if I can
Right,
pull it
right,
up.
right. That's what I'm thinking. I think he's coming off a
Yeah,
real impressive win,
he
right?
he caught Jan Catalaba in a guillotine. Jan got very he got very eager on the wrestling. Shot
How
in with
many
his
wins
neck
is
all
he
out.
on in a row here?
Well, this is no one. So he's been so when he came into the UFC, he put together 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row.
Right.
Jesus, Sam Alvey. He split decision Sam Alvey. That's sad. But anyway, 4 in a row. Got knocked out by Johnny Walker, knocked out Misha Serkinov, got submitted by Anthony Smith, and then submitted Yanka Talaba. So this is his
Okay.
chance to like start one.
Fair. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but I think Otis and you and Otis have a very good point on that. He might be damaged goods. It's just none of the guys that ever fight John Jones, like they fight John Jones and lose. Not that anyone beat him, but they never come back the same ever. DC didn't come back the same. He had to keep moving on. Whatever, moved up to heavyweight, and it was just a weird thing to see. All right, Otis says Puelles is slick on the ground too. He is. He'll catch you.
Mhm.
What's up, Nick? Let's go. Good to see the duo back. What's good, man? Appreciate you. And then, he submitted Yanko Talaba. Yeah, the guillotine was nasty. All right, moving on. The next fight up. This one, and it's funny because I've actually spoken to some people thinking like, oh, they're giving Frankie a guy he can beat. I don't think he can. I think this is like a really hard fight for Frankie Edgar at 135. Chris Gutierrez is a bad dude. Who are you picking on this one?
Yeah. I'm picking Chris.
Yeah.
It's obviously. I mean, Frankie's came out and said this is his last fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know who they expect to give him. I guess they can maybe give him another veteran or something, but like this is about as good as it's going to get for him in the UFC. And I still don't really think it's a winnable fight for Frankie at this point in his career. He's just fucking listen. For much I want to say that Dan Hooker's fucking shop warden, Frankie's fucking, listen, it's the end of days for him. BJ fucking retired like a decade ago or some shit like that, and he fucking won the belt against BJ.
Yeah.
So it's just he's very long in the tooth. He's 41 years old, and again, he's taken a lot of fucking damage over the years. And 6, 7, 8 years ago, where he could take fucking Gray Maynard landing haymaker after haymaker on him and still just sort of finding a way to get through it. Those days are fucking done. He gets clocked like that now, it's fucking over, Jack, as we've seen in like his last couple fucking fights.
Corey Sandhagen took his chin completely out.
And then who kicked him in the chin afterwards, like straight?
Ooh, let me pull it up. Marlon Vera?
Cheeto
got him.
kicked him fucking straight, gave him the big
Yeah.
boy
Oh my god, that's
Anderson
right.
Silva fucking beat.
Fuck,
So
that was
yeah,
mean.
it was nasty, son.
I remember that.
Real fucking nasty. So, Frankie's fucking put in his work. He's a goddamn legend. He deserves all the credit in the world, but it's the fucking end of the road for him. Yes, he's probably going to get the piss beat out of him by a young lion because that's how we do in this sport. There's no fucking easy exits from the UFC, not usually. And Frankie's been a pretty company guy at this point, but to be fair, he's also a tough guy that is always looking for a tough challenge. He's not going to run from that at all. So he'll probably take an L on the way out the door, but
yeah. But I think Frank is one of those guys that doesn't want to get like a handout. He'll probably like, no, give me someone that can fucking fight. And it's like, okay, Chris Gutierrez. I wonder if he was like, oh shit, okay, not that crazy, but all right. I think Chris is gonna take it too, which sucks because I hope I'm wrong. How about that? I really hope I'm wrong. Korean Zombie battered Edgar too. That's right, he did. And Gutierrez, some of the nastiest
wars, man.
Yeah, Gutierrez is some of the nicest leg kicks I've ever seen. Yeah,
exactly, and that for a 41-year-old, that does not bode well
at all. Yeah. All right. Easily, I don't care who you are. This is the people's main event. Like, just well, full disclosure, I guess. I'm in a wedding, and so I'm not gonna get to watch the whole card. If you don't think I'm gonna find a way to watch this fucking fight, during the damn thing, you had your fucking mind. I am not missing Michael Chandler Dustin Poirier. This fight, like, I could give you reasons why the top 2 fights are going to be boring. I can easily give you reasons for that. There's no way this is going to be boring. No possible way. 2 guys that on purpose get into brawls. This is going to be nasty, but I'm having a hard time picking. But man, I like the hot sauce maker slightly in this one. Although, who knows, man. Michael Chandler hits like a fucking truck too. I think it's gonna be a fun one. But who are you picking?
Yeah, I hate saying that I guarantee this fight's going to be good because I feel like every fucking time I do that for some weird fucking reason, it ends up not being good. But yeah, this is one of those fights where it's like you almost guaranteed fireworks.
Yeah.
I think the fucking safe money here is on Dustin Poirier. I think he's a bit more calculated. I think he may have a bit of a better gas tank. I think he's a little better on the ground, more well-rounded, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck. I'm picking Michael Chandler. And I'll tell you why. Because of all the fucking shit I just said about Dustin, he's very fucking hittable. This is the same guy that got fucking sparked out by Michael Johnson. It was a long goddamn time ago, but it fucking happened. And okay, I'll put it to you like this, and I hate to fucking waver and ride the fence like this, but I think this is just the bottom goddamn line.
Okay.
I think either Michael Chandler gets fucking a knockout in the first round because Dustin's sitting there dancing around with his hands low, and Michael fucking surprises him and knocks the dog shit out of him.
Yeah.
Or over the course of 3 rounds, Dustin slowly breaks him down and either gets like a 3rd round submission TKO or ends up winning a unanimous at the tail end there. I think that's sort of the general consensus. We all know more than likely Michael Chandler is going to come out like a goddamn house on fire. Both fucking hands just a rocket in as fucking fast as they can go. And that's either going to fucking work for him and he's going to overwhelm Dustin and get the knockout, or he's going to not. He's going to slow down and Dustin's going to slowly, methodically start doing what he do.
Yeah. No, I agree with that whole thing, but I just don't think that Chandler's going to catch him in the first round. Although Otis just said it. He goes, Chandler has the scariest first round in the UFC. You can definitely yes.
That's I'm just going to bank on that. I think sometimes, and this is such a stupid thing to say because it sort of never works out. I feel like Dustin starts slow sometimes, and against a guy like Chandler, that seems like a really bad idea. Again, that little MMA fucking mass shit tends to not work. I say that, and Dustin will come out like a house on fire, fucking throwing head kicks and shit. You never really know exactly what to expect. But in general, it seemed like Dustin's the type of, Forrest Griffin type character that sort of needs to get his nose bloodied a little bit before he starts to really start getting into the fight. And with Michael Chandler, it only takes like one of those to necessarily just put your fucking lights out.
There you go. I can't disagree with any of that. So, I mean, look, yeah, dude, but I saw Poirier lasting as long as Poirier gets first round.
All that being said, if you had a fucking gun to my kid's head, I'm taking Poirier. I'm taking Chandler because it's fun. I think he's gonna get the first round win. It's something to sort of fucking throw at. But like, if all the chips were in, I think Poirier will probably win this fight. More than likely, it probably goes the other way, and it gets extended. And to your point, Chandler does it. Maybe he rocks Poirier in the first round, but he doesn't actually knock him the fuck out.
Okay. Do you think Chandler? Do you think the winner gets a title shot, or at least next up, or whatever? I know they're getting Volkanovski the fucking lightweight title, but still.
Man, I don't know, man. Again, yeah, I don't. If after Volkanovski, sure.
Yeah.
If you're talking about jumping Volkanovski, like jumping him in line, I don't know. It feels like we're pretty committed to this Volkanovski thing at this point. But with a really impressive performance, if one of them comes out and just starches the other cold, I don't know, man. Maybe they might be able to jump the line. Again, it seems like we're all sort of married to this Volkanovski thing. It doesn't seem like the crowd hates it, and Dana and them are definitely sort of floating it. It seems I'm a little intrigued by it. It still sort of seems like maybe not a little bit of a waste of time, but I'm here for it. So I think they're going to do the Volkanovski thing. But with a very impressive performance, you never know.
Dariush. Yeah. Maybe the winner gets Dariush for interim, but they're going to be holding it up.
That makes sense. Dariush has got to get something. He deserves something.
Yeah. 100%. But Jesus, that last fight he had, I forgot who was against. It didn't even matter. I was impressed as shit by Dariush. All right, co-main event. Carlos Barza, Zhang Weili, whatever. Zhang Weili. This is gonna be an execution. I just don't have Carla doing much. Like, and the reason I say is this: Weili already had the hands, already had the power, already had the speed. All right, and now she's been wrestling Well, here's who she showed her wrestling last fight or two, I think. So I think Whaley's gonna fuck her up, knock out in the second round. And I think it's gonna be nasty, personally. What you got?
So, what should I say that?
Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So, full disclosure, I
Sure.
just opened up. Well, okay. I didn't
Yeah.
open up shit for the full disclosure. I just had my woman, who is a Canadian citizen, get some DraftKings shit opened up for me so I can actually start fucking betting on these goddamn fights. I was contemplating, should I even fucking say that? Maybe that's not but it's fine. It's legal. She's the one doing it. Goddamn it. She's just betting on what I tell her to. So y'all suck my dick. It's legal. Now, my point with all that, what I'm saying is, yes, I pick Weili Zhang too, right?
Okay.
I'm fucking putting some goddamn money on Carla Esparza because
Oh.
every fucking body is saying the same thing. And every fucking time, all of us pundits and all of us fucking know-it-alls are on the same page. She don't got a chance, Jack. She gonna get murdered. Every fucking time this happens, for some reason, it's almost like the MMA gods hear us shooting our silly mouths off and think, teach y'all a lesson. It's just every time this happens, Carlos Esparza goes. Now, listen, I'm not saying that Carlos will go out there and fucking knock her out. But just to be completely fair and to add a little bit of levity to the situation, I don't give a fuck who Weili Zhang has been training with. Yes, I'm looking at you, little disgusting Henry. I don't give a shit how many medals you won. Her fucking wrestling is never going to be equal to Carla Esparza's. We might as well give Carla that. She ain't getting shit else for this fight. We all think she's going to get murdered. We know she ain't got the hands of Weili. We know she's a bad striker. So let's at least give her flowers and acknowledge she is a better wrestler. Probably go on ahead and say a better grappler. Dare we say a way better grappler, and Weili is not going to be able to make that up. Now, again, gun to my head, what do I think happens? I think Weili starches her out in the first round with them motherfucking Chinese hands, Jack. But if we're being honest, again, I've been watching this fucking shit for too long to not know that I've seen plenty of fights like this where it's like, okay, yeah, we all see this, right? Carla shouldn't even really have the belt, right? This is some wild. We don't even know how she got the belt. We all feel like this should be an easy win for Weili, but I can't tell you how many times we did that shit. And then, oh shit, Carla gets the takedown. Oh wow, she's on top. Dang, she's hitting her. Man, this shit just happened with that one little mouthy broad. I guess. Amanda Nunes has got the belt back, but fucking
Pena.
she lost the belt to Pena. Like, don't fucking everybody so quickly dismissing Esparza makes me nervous. Just to be and again, if we can sort of separate the fact that we really like Weili Zhang as a fighter and she's exciting and she gets after it and she's very tough and very good and very strong and all this shit. If you really sort of styles make fights, Carla's not that much older. Weili is not a great grappler. I always used to get drunk, boy, back when Czech Congo was new to the UFC and he was getting taken down. I'd be like, they don't wrestle in France. They don't wrestle in Paris, baby. Listen, they don't wrestle in China. Maybe a little bit. Settle down. I know, but like not like Carla. Like it's a different sort of wrestling here in America. Like Russians might be able to wrestle. There's a few folks out there that can wrestle with us. Most of the Chinese folks, especially in MMA, are not going to be wrestling with no American that has been wrestling their whole life. It's a different level. So I do think Weili will win this fight. I also think that if she gets fucking lazy, she could very well, at the very least, get lay and pray. Y'all out there thinking that like Carla don't have a chance. And don't get me wrong, we will hate the fight if Carla wins. It will fucking suck. It will be a wall install, lay and pray affair. But if y'all think Carla can't do that to Weili, y'all better wake the fuck up.
Oh no, 100%. That's 100% possible. No, possible. 100% possible. Maybe I'm just hoping against hope, man. Maybe I'm just hoping that she gets knocked the fuck out because I'm so I'm tired of it.
Same.
So there you go. All right, let's see. Gamrot. Gamrot's the guy that Dariush. Oh my god, I remember he fucking literally like he cracks him with the right hand off the cage, and dude just goes flying backwards like a body, like just like a bag of potatoes. All right, hell yeah. And then Zhang is strong everywhere, 100%. But that's the thing about that is Carla's just better and stronger in one specific area. So we'll see what happens.
The only fucking area where she is stronger, but I think she's got a nice little advantage there.
Right, we'll see. Main event of the evening. Everybody's hope. Everyone's thinking, oh, he's going to try and knock him out. They're going to swing on each other. I have news for you. This fight is gonna bore the piss out of a lot of people. Israel Adesanya is going to decision the shit out of Alex Pereira. Um, Come on, man. That guy's fought him twice. He's not gonna put himself in danger. He's really good at getting out of the way and avoiding eating, taking heavy damage. Could Alex go in there and blitz him? Sure, it's very possible. I don't see it happening. Dude, I forgot who said. I don't know if it was you or somebody else said. Like said that Pereira is about to Leon Edwards. This dude. I'm like, man, imagine that happening. But I just don't
No,
see it.
wasn't
I
me.
think I think Izzy's gonna make this. It's gonna be a boring ass fight. And Izzy's gonna win it by decision. That's what I think.
Okay. Man, listen, we've been when we started the podcast off, you started off with sort of a serious note with Kane. I was about to cut you off before you started. I was about to say, what number podcast are we on? Because we've been at this a long time. I was about to stun a little bit on these hoes. Just like, what is this number, like 6,000? We've been podding for a long time, son.
Total, or I don't know, a lot.
A
Total's
lot,
like
a lot. I
a
don't know what
lot.
episode
Like,
Keyboard Warriors is this? What were we on?
oh,
Like
311?
311. Yeah, 311. Not the fucking stank ass band from the 90s. That's fucking 311 episodes, baby. We've been at this a long time.
Oh.
I say all that to say, most of the time at this point, we're like two broads on their period. We cycle up together. We agree a lot on our MMA fucking opinions. This is one time I vehemently disagree with you, my friend.
Mhm.
I think I get very, very much great John Jones vibes with Israel. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. I think Israel, and if you look back through it at his career, at least in the UFC, I think it's provable that when he feels endangered, when he feels like the first Robert Whitaker fight, the Derek Brunson fight, the fights where I feel like he feels like he has something to lose or he's nervous, I feel like he really impresses and dazzles in those fights. A lot like John Jones. His greatest fights were against his toughest opposition. If he gets a fight, Izzy, now I'm speaking of, if Izzy gets a fight where I think he thinks he can sort of cruise and win, like with Jared Cannonier in his last fight, I think he knew I can do this. I can win this fight. Like even if you want to take the Yoel Romero fight like that, I think he knew on the feet this guy's got one slugging chance, and if he doesn't do that, it is what it is. Izzy can definitely fight a boring fight, but I feel like a guy like Pereira that knows him, that's got some wins over him, and let's face it, is just an aggressive striker. I think he's going to bring out the beast in Israel. I don't want to get too fucking cute and cocky with my predictions here, but dare I say a first round knockout, Izzy. I think he's going to come after Izzy, and I think Izzy's going to fucking oblige. And here's the deal, man. I think that in the first two kickboxing matches, Izzy was touching Pereira a lot, but you got them big ass fucking gloves. Izzy was about 6 years younger. I think if Izzy touches Alex as much as he did in their kickboxing affairs, Alex is looking at the fucking lights long before fucking he gets to round 5. Those the gloves are just way smaller. They're way and to be fair, I'm sure Alex knows this as well. It's not like I'm some fucking genius. He probably knows that these gloves are a lot less unforgiving than the kickboxing gloves, man. Like not gonna be able to take those same shots and then not do the same amount of impact. So it's just you got to put some stock into those two fights, but I also feel like this is a whole different fucking ball of wax, and I just see Izzy being too much for him. And again, it not taking these gloves are tiny in MMA, bro. It don't take much to put you on fucking shaky legs. And one thing about Izzy, he might be a little slow, and if you don't bring it to him, he might be very sort of Anderson Silva-esque, where he'll just counter strike with you all night. If he gets you hurt, you're fucked. You get to shaking around, dancing around, Izzy will fuck you up. Like he's not gonna wait or be timid if he gets you hurt. You're fucked.
100%. And look, I would love to see that because that would help Izzy so much to knock out Pereira. Like, because that you don't need a rematch, you don't need anything like that. Like, if it's a knockout, shit's over, and he gets his back. And he gets it back. Like, no one will ever talk about Pereira knocking him out ever again, ever. But I just don't think it's gonna happen. I think Izzy's. And I'm not saying Izzy fights to not lose. I think Izzy just fights smart. Like everyone complains about Mayweather not knocking anybody out recently, right? Outside of Conor, which honestly, we wouldn't put a lot of stock into because Conor's not a boxer. But outside of that, like everyone complains about that. But he's still one of the greatest boxers, maybe possibly the greatest boxer ever. So it's I just think I get Floyd vibes from Izzy. That's what I get. I get Floyd vibes from Izzy. Move, find different angles, defense, crack, move. Like he's not trying to get into wars. But I forgot who was he fighting when he said, he said something like, "I have no problem. I'm prepared to die," or
Kelvin
you can't.
Gastelum.
Yeah,
Kelvin
you can't
Gastelum.
pick
That was
K-
the war with
the
Kelvin.
war.
Like, and this is what I'm saying, man. There are certain people and certain aggressive fight styles that I
Yeah,
feel like just bring out that we know Izzy has a dog in him. We
100%.
know
We've seen
it's
it. We've
there.
seen it.
We've seen it. We've
Yeah,
seen him get dragged into deep water,
yeah,
drug into deep water rather, and come back and fight hard and come out guns a blazing. So
yeah.
I just feel like Izzy's a better fighter overall, a better striker, and I think I don't think they grapple at all. I do think they come out and kickbox with MMA gloves on, and I just think that's going to be Pineda's undoing. Izzy's
There
too
you go.
good. He's too good.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm with you. Santiago says, I hope you're wrong, 80, but it's very probable. That's what I'm saying. What are you gonna do? All right, we have literally a few minutes left, so it kind of works out really well in our favor. So we were watching, and we both saw it, but we didn't talk about it till I think yesterday, the day before. DC had a top 5 fighters of all time list, not just MMA, not just boxing, like all of it.
We should have done this before. Is there any way we can bring it up? I know we got to go relatively soon. Can you
What,
bring it up the
his
list?
list?
Yeah, DC's
Yeah,
list. Can we
yeah,
put it up while we're doing this? Just
yeah. Let
for
me
a little
see.
perspective here, because I don't even remember. I know like Amanda Nunes was, I think, his number 5. He had some wild picks in
Here it
there.
is. I
Of course,
got
he had
you.
Habib.
Okay. If you Google DC's top 5 picks, you get his picks, and then you get a bunch of DC, like the comic book shit.
Okay, for sure.
Here it is. Here we go. So there you go. So we have a bunch of comic book shit on here. All
Obviously.
right. So
Okay.
Nunes.
Okay, right. There you go. So Floyd, Habib, Muhammad, George,
Yeah.
and Amanda. Okay, okay.
All
Fair
right.
enough. So we're going to recreate this list, basically.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to start number 5. We're going to work our way up. You want to go first or you want me to go?
Sure. Number 5. Modern times. Look, jiu-jitsu's been developing very quickly in the last decade or so. And a lot of people, they hold the Gracies high in this pedestal. Hoist and Hoyler. No one ever beat Hoyler until Eddie Bravo did it. Hoist Gracie was a killer. Hickson Gracie is he has a million fights and he's undefeated in that and all that stuff. And he fought Valatudo and all that. Nobody has done it in such a where he almost humiliates high level opponents like Gordon Ryan. Gordon Ryan is the baddest dude to ever hit the mats in no-gi. Now we haven't seen much in gi. He's been training it apparently, but I just saw him choke out Andre Galvao with one arm, rear naked choke. Andre Galvao, I don't care what you guys say, he's one of the baddest motherfuckers to ever do it in jiu-jitsu, ever. And to see Gordon Ryan do that, like we watched the what do you call it, the proverbial passing of the torch. We saw that happen on the mats, and do you just every time you see like Gordon Ryan puts out instructionals and teaches you his system step by step. You know why he does that? Why he says he does it? He says it because I'm so far ahead of everybody. It doesn't matter. I'm giving you old shit.
Yeah,
Like
I've
it's
heard that.
so wnuts. Physically, he's like, who knows if he's on juice or not, but it doesn't matter. Physically, he's like chiseled. He's been battling stomach issues, and he still beats people. He kills them. Dudes drop out of fights against him. Everyone calls him out, but no one signs a contract. Like that guy is so scary, he's so nuts that I know it might be a little premature to put him in this list, number 5. But for me, if he's not there now, is top 5 all time, he's going to be there one day.
I ain't mad at it.
All right, you're up.
I ain't mad at it. Okay. Number 5 on my list, and I told you before we went live, I said, listen,
Yeah.
when you hear my number 5, you go, no, motherfucking Danny Fred ain't fucking with y'all.
Oh,
Number
gosh.
5 on my list is fucking Floyd Mayweather. Okay. Now, this is a very subjective sort of thing. If you want to put stock in pay-per-view buys, influence of culture, win record, whatever the fuck, there's no fucking rules with this. I'm trying to add all that, every little bit of it. I want all of that to matter. Everything should matter a little bit to me. And when you talk about Floyd Mayweather, listen, the top of the list is he's undefeated. I can't stand that short little cocksucker. But the truth is, even though I think he cherry picked his career a lot, he fought fucking Canelo at the right time. He fought fucking Manny at the right time. Hell, he might have fought Conor at the right time. He fought a lot of people at the right time, but none the fucking less, he fought them. And he won. And quite frankly, truth be fucking told, the cute little cocksucker barely got hit. And he fought again, may it been at the wrong time, might have been towards the end of their careers, but he fought all the toughest guys from his generation, from fucking a young Canelo to a outdated fucking Manny Pacquiao. He
Mhm.
fought them all. He won, went 49, 50 and 0. He's doing some weird, questionable shit now, but nonetheless, he had a fucking historic career. He never got fucking dropped. Again, he got stung like one time. He
Once.
got hit hard once. And like kind of that uppercut from Connor. I mean, this is some pretty historical
Mhm.
shit, especially when you talk about defensive boxing. Literally the fucking GOAT. Almost pains me to say it, but it's just the truth. And while we're on it, you got to hand it to him. The fucking guy took pay-per-view to another level. The
Oh,
fucking
easily.
cocksucker made more money than anybody ever thought about making. He figured out that you can sell a lot of pay-per-views by fuckers wanting to see you get knocked out. And then
Yeah.
you bragging about the fact that still ain't nobody did it yet. And he those two things alone really put him on this list for me. The
Mhm.
man has sold more pay-per-views than anybody in the history of pay-per-view,
Yeah.
and he went undefeated in the historic fucking sport of boxing.
100%. And that's very, very, very hard to do.
Very
Very
hard,
hard.
man. Top 5 for sure. I don't like that cocksucker, but he's number 5 on my list.
But he's damn good. Nick says definitely agree with Eddie. Glad he included Gordon Ryan. That was the first guy I thought of, honestly, when we talk about this list. All right, so I got Gordon Ryan. You went Floyd Mayweather. Number 4. My number 4 should be no surprise whatsoever to anybody. Johnny Bones.
Oh,
John Jones, to
okay.
me, is oh man, that's gonna be weird. Is the biggest case of wasted fucking talent ever in terms of he just shoots himself in the foot repeatedly and doesn't fight. But he's fought everybody that put it in front of him. He's beat everybody. Matt Hamill be damned. No offense to Matt
Let's
Hamill, but
not
Matt
be.
Hamill be damned. All right, like that was bullshit. John Jones has beat everybody. Now, did he do roids? He tested positive twice. Did he do a lot of questionable shit? Absolutely. He's not a great person, but man, can that guy fucking fight? And he fights in such a chaotic sport like MMA, chaotic, and it's chaotic no matter what. It's such a chess game for him. You saw him set up DC for that head kick. You saw it happen. Like during the fight, he's like body, kick to the body, kick to the body. DC started feeling it. Stipe stole the same formula, by the way, when he fought DC the second time. But body,
Yep, yep,
body. DC goes down, head kick, done.
yep.
Okay, that is some chess game shit right there. And I wish he wasn't such a sack of shit because he'd be easy to go for everybody. Because I don't think I don't know anybody on this planet that could beat John Jones in his prime.
I agree there. You can't argue with John Jones being in this
No.
list. I don't give a fuck where you put him. It's John
Yeah.
fucking Jones. It is what it is.
All right. You up?
Okay. This is where I'm going to take a little bit of a creative liberty here, and I'm going to have a little fun.
Ooh.
I didn't want it just to be all boxing and MMA guys and
Mhm.
shit to foreshadow my list a little bit. So coming in at number 4 for me is the aforementioned from you, Hickson Gracie, baby. Listen,
Yeah. Let's
death
go.
taxes and Hickson by armbar. You understand me? To
Yes,
the best,
sir.
to the best of my knowledge, Hickson has fought 6,872 men and armbarred them all. Ain't never lost a fight. Now, the only reason I was hesitant to put him on this list because he never really had any real competitive fights. It's all Valley Tudo. It's sort of all shrouded in mystery.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I feel like Hoist may have a slight argument to be on this list. Henzo may have a slight argument to be on this list. You're talking about some of the greatest grapplers of all time who literally sort of paved the way, would be putting it mildly. So in my thinking, and again, I always remember like when I first was sort of getting into the sport and you first heard about fucking Hoist, once
Mm.
you figured out what jiu-jitsu was, the running joke was like, oh yeah, but that's the lame one. He's
Yeah.
not even good. Like his brother Henzo and like everybody beats up on Hoist. That was sort of the point why they sent him because he was little bruh. Like they weren't even sending their best academy member. They sent you Lil Bruh, and he won your stupid little tournament.
That's
That's how
fucking
good
nuts.
jiu-jitsu is. So by that, fucking measuring stick, Hickson is fucking God. Hickson would have beat Henzo, goddamn it, Hoist, all them little sissies all at one time. They all revere Hickson as the man. Again, to the best of my knowledge, Hickson was fighting motherfuckers on the beach, Jack. Fucking undefeated Valley Tudo. He's a complete myth and legend from what we know and understand. Hickson Gracie, death and fucking taxes. Number 4 on my list. Suck it.
That's I can't argue with that. That's fucking dope. I wish I'd have thought of that. Santiago says the day that I saw Jones was one of a kind was a fight with Ryan Bader. Yeah, it was nasty. All right, moving on. Number 3, the guy you put at number 5, I think Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, everything he said, undefeated, best defensive boxer we've seen probably ever, and knows how to make it happen. People can argue all they want to. He pushed boxing to another level as far as pay per view, as far as how to sell a show, and how to take circus fights and get paid like a motherfucker. I mean, I guarantee, like, okay, I don't guarantee, but I never look into it, obviously, but honestly, but I'm pretty sure it was his idea to do the Conor fight because that was a genius fucking move, and they made a ton of money out of it. So, yeah, Floyd Mayweather number 3 for me. Who you got?
Okay, number 3 for me. Now we're getting into the fucking nitty gritty now, baby. These are number 3 for me. I'll just fucking get right to it, son. Anderson Silva.
Yes, sir.
I thought a long time about this. Who am I going to put there? Listen, my favorite MMA fighter of all time, Barry, if you've been a fan of this show for any time, you probably heard me mention is BJ Penn. As my favorite, prime BJ was my favorite fighter to watch.
Scary
I
dude.
just enjoyed watching him compete. So nasty. But the best fighter I've ever watched compete, just in finding that zone and just doing things that afterwards a party of us would sit around and be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's Anderson Silva, man. He really sort of opened up my idea of what striking could actually be in MMA. I
Mhm.
remember there was almost like sort of a snobby a bit of time in MMA where it was like, oh, well, certain karate type moves don't work. And as much of a joke as fucking Steven Seagal was, just Anderson being open to even entertaining silly shit like that, but
Sure.
then getting in there and bigger than shit, making wild shit like that work,
Mhm.
making Forrest Griffin look like he was in the Matrix when he was one fight removed from being the goddamn light
Jesus.
heavyweight champion of the world,
Yeah.
smashing James Irvin, going on a legendary run at 85. And then when he couldn't outstrike you, because at his best, you was not striking with
Oh,
Anderson
no.
Silva. You could just cut that right the fuck out. You was not striking with him. And even if you was cute enough to out grappling like Chael Sonnen proved, he could submit you. The fucking guy was incredible. The best fighter I've ever seen compete in his prime, well-roundedness. Anderson Silva, a complete fucking just myth in the cage.
He just missed my list, man. I was debating with myself trying to figure out how to put him in here. He just missed it. But all right, there you go. Anderson Silva, can't argue with that one. All right, number 2. Uh, uh, if you know boxing, you should know this name. If you don't, you should definitely look him up on YouTube because this guy was legendary. They call him the Lion of Culiacan. 115 total fights, 107 victories, 6 losses, 2 draws, wins by knockout 86. I'm talking of Julio Cesar Chavez.
Ooh,
One of the,
nice.
to me, easily the best Mexican boxer to ever do it. Easily. I mean, I was a fan of Julio Cesar Chavez when I was a kid, and I hadn't seen any of his fights when I was a kid. Like, and I mean, my dad Julio Cesar Chavez used to walk to the ring with a headband on. My dad bought me when I was a kid, and I used to wear that shit to school. All right, that dude opened up doors for so many boxers, showed a lot of boxers how to do it. Not only that, he was undefeated for a very long time. And he was like, he just took every challenge. He lost. He's like, I don't give a shit. Let's go again. I don't give a shit. Let's go again. That guy he had balls. That dude was a tough man. Can't say too much about his son, but even to this day, that guy walks anywhere. If you know boxing in the U.S., he walks in the U.S., you recognize him. In Mexico, everybody and their mother knows who Cesar Chavez is. The guy is a walking, living legend, and he's number 2 on my list. What about
Okay,
you?
listen. I know we got to wrap it up. We got to wrap.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
both got to get rock and roll. Okay, so I won't be long winded. Number 2, none other than the great Cassius Clay, aka Muhammad Ali. There isn't much to say about Muhammad Ali. Obviously, we've all heard of him. If you're not very familiar with his career, I highly suggest you go back
Yeah.
and watch a documentary or even just a highlight reel on YouTube. The absolute most charismatic dude I've ever heard on the mic. Would make Chael Sonnen blush at the
Oh
creative
yeah.
things he would say, and along with having that larger than life personality, having a massive influence on culture in the fucking
Mhm.
60s and 70s, he also fought everybody. Oh, I mean, just fucking killers. George Foreman when George Foreman was an absolute fucking robot. Joe Frazier when he was a goddamn tank. Fucking 3 times I think he fought Joe Frazier. I mean, just
Yeah.
fought them all, won some, lost some. A fucking man amongst men. Muhammad Ali, one of the, if not the greatest boxer of all time. My number 2 combat sports athlete ever, Muhammad Ali.
My number one, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali. Shuffle, rope a dope. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make you gas your arms out. Then I'm gonna kick the. I'm gonna smack the shit out you. Um, Goes away for 3 years because he refused to enter Vietnam, the Vietnam War. Gets his license taken away. Basically, is banned from making a living, which is insane. Comes back, isn't the same guy, but still wins. Retains belts and everything, and to the very end, still believe that he could be the champion. Still believe he could do what he used to do. Just never gave up on himself until Father Time, took it. Unfortunately, how his life turned out with so much how much damage he took and everything, but it's like they say, like it was in that movie Troy, where that kid asks Achilles, he goes, I wouldn't want to fight this giant, right? He's a giant. They say he's a giant, he's scary and all that. I wouldn't want to fight him. And Troy, the guy Achilles looks at him, he goes, that's why no one will remember your name.
Yep.
Muhammad Ali took on every giant ever and became one.
Yep.
In every facet of life. That guy's the ultimate crossover star, if you want to call it that. But that guy did some real important shit for a lot of people. So Muhammad Ali, number one, greatest of all time. Rest in peace.
Okay, so my number 1 greatest fighter of all time. Now I know this is going to rub some people the wrong way because Muhammad Ali is a great human being.
Yeah.
There are some great human beings on my list. Anderson Silva, great human being. My number 1 pick, John Bones fucking Jones. I know he is not a great human being, but son, again, with all this criteria that I threw out there, still for me personally, my number 1 criteria is who did you beat? When did you beat him? What's your fucking record? And Habib, all due respect, no shade to him. He's undefeated. He's fucking, what is that? Fucking 2 on fucking DC's list.
Yeah.
He fought nowhere near the right amount of competition to merit that list. On the flip side, John Jones did. Now, I know the last few years or so he's been very inactive and shit, but the run that he went on in the beginning to win the belt, and even then when he did come back, the guys that he's fought, the guys that he's beat, the way that he's beat them, going undefeated, even Floyd, for as impressive as his record is, it's still boxing. In my opinion, going undefeated in MMA at the highest level in the UFC is the hardest thing to do in sport. It's just, and listen, Pico Graham's my ass, Matt Hamill my ass. It is what it is. As the great fucking Nate Diaz once said, or Nick, I forget who it was, everybody's on fucking steroids. Don't kid yourself. So I'm judging them all on the same spectrum. Whether he did or didn't, it is what it is. He is the greatest fucking combat sports athlete any of us have ever seen. And y'all better hope you don't win that heavyweight belt. Because at that point, I don't even think what I'm saying is debatable. Right now, maybe you can debate it. I don't think so. He's undefeated. It is what it is. But he's still competing. He's still fucking breaking records. And if he comes back and get that heavyweight belt, it's John Jones, guys. I mean, again, no shade to boxing or kickboxing or grappling or anything, but MMA now, modern MMA is just the hardest thing in the world to not get beaten. And there's so many ways to lose. The fact that John didn't do it with all the guys he beat, it is what it is. Johnny Bones Jones is the greatest fucking combat sports athlete ever, in my opinion.
And nobody will be able to debate that ever if he wins that heavyweight belt. Like, any list that doesn't have a number 1 will be like, the fuck are you talking about?
Right. At least in that moment. If he wins that belt, the moment after he wins that belt, at that moment, he's the fucking GOAT, guys. Sorry. It is what he is.
Yeah, there you go. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us tonight. Appreciate y'all. UFC 281 tomorrow night. Enjoy yourselves. I will be watching Michael Chandler just in 4-8, but that's about it because I'm going to be in a wedding and I'm probably going to be pretty lit up. So, yeah. Shout out to everyone that tuned in. I know Otis was here, Santiago was here, Nick was here. Who else we got? Kairos was here early. Toast, appreciate y'all. Everyone that watches and tunes in, appreciate it. Hit subscribe, hit like, leave a comment, tell your friends, and join us on the next one. So for myself and Fred Kirby, the entire crew, we love you guys. Good night, and good night, Wilshire.